All right, good morning, everyone. All right. If everybody's ready, we'll go ahead and get started this morning. Mayor Bracy, members of council, county commissioners, Representative Schreiber, who will be here shortly, friends and family, and emergency responders, career, volunteer, active, and retired. Welcome to the department's annual awards program. This year, we will recognize several members for service. We will have a firefighter promoted to captain, a captain promoted to assistant chief, and an assistant chief promoted to deputy chief. We will recognize 4 members of the department who retired recently, a loss of 114 years combined service. We will also recognize the 225th anniversary of the Laurel Fire Company. The ceremony will conclude with the naming of the 2014 Volunteer Firefighter of the Year. Today gives us the chance to recognize the work of our first responders. Not every member will be receiving an award today, but we do recognize the effort, dedication, and commitment that each firefighter gives daily. This past year was busy for the department. The department answered over 2,800 calls for service, including numerous multiple alarm fires. This is no different than previous years. Since 1771, brave men and women have stepped up to protect our city and make it a better place. This dedication and sacrifice is appreciated. And we'll start today with our promotions. And first up will be Deputy Chief Chad Deerdorf. Chief, if you come up, please. You wanted to come up, didn't you? Okay. Deputy Chief Deerdorf started his career with the department on March 6, 1995. He was promoted to captain on October 20th, 2008, and assistant chief on August 28th, 2014. Deputy Chief Deerdorf has received numerous awards during his career. He received the Chief's Commendation in 1998 and 2006 for rescuing civilians from fires. He also received the 2005 Firefighter of the Year Award. He has obtained several certifications, including EMT, Fire Officer 1 and 2, and Fire Inspector 1 and 2. He is also a Pennsylvania State Certified Fire Instructor. Deputy Chief Deerdorf has obtained his bachelor's degree and is currently enrolled in a master's program. His last assignment before promotion was Assistant Chief on C Platoon. Deputy Chief Deerdorf served as the department's training officer and EMS officer. Deputy Chief Deerdorf is married to his wife Jess, and they have 2 children, Adam and Sophia, who are sitting right up front here with us today. Mayor Bracy will render the oath, and his uncle Ken will come up to pin his badge on.
No, I'm not. He's okay, he's okay.
Yes. It is my honor to be able to render this oath to you, Chad. So if you would, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, please state your name,
Chad Deerdorf,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Deputy Chief.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And next will be a promotion for Assistant Chief David Ferguson. Chief, if you'll come up, please. Assistant Chief Ferguson began his career with the department on March 11, 1996. He was promoted to captain on March 20, 2009. He served as a captain on C Platoon. During his career, Assistant Chief Ferguson has received several awards. He was named the Firefighter of the Year in 2002. He received the Red Cross Heroes of York County Award in 2008 and a letter of commendation for his role in the Roadway Inn fire in 2013. Assistant Chief Ferguson serves as the department's maintenance officer, where he coordinates the maintenance of the department's fleet of apparatus. Assistant Chief Ferguson is the son of the late Jack Ferguson, who spent 26 years working for the department. Assistant Chief Ferguson and his wife Lisa are the proud parents of 2 sons, Brandon and Derek. Mayor Bracy will render the oath, and I believe your wife Lisa is going to come up to pin the badge.
It's my pleasure, sir. Good morning. If you would please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, please state your name,
A. Ferguson,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this
and
Commonwealth,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Assistant Chief.
Thank you. Thank you.
And our next promotion today will be for Captain William Sleeger. Captain? Captain Bill Sleeger began his time with the department as a volunteer firefighter. He began his career with the department on March 9th, 1992. Prior to joining the department, Captain Sleeger served our country as part of the United States Navy. As a firefighter, he was assigned to A Platoon, working on a ladder truck at Station 2. Captain Sleeger was named the 1997 Firefighter of the Year. In 1994, he received a letter of commendation for performing CPR on a person found in cardiac arrest while he was on vacation in Busch Gardens, Florida. In 1998, he received the Chief's Commendation for his role in the rescue of a civilian from a house fire in the 300 block of Pattison Street. Captain Sleeger's late father, William Sr., served the city of York as a police officer. His brother, Chuck, is also a career firefighter with the department, and I saw he is here today. Captain Sleeger and his wife, Vicki, have 2 daughters, Rebecca and Rachel. Mayor Bracy will render the oath, and Vicki, you'll come up and do the badge.
Hi, Mayor.
How are you doing? Okay, we're doing this, huh?
Yep.
Okay. If you would please, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, William H. Sleeger,
I, William H. Sleeger,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you.
Well, Gwen, and next we'll recognize those who have retired from the department since our last ceremony. And first up, and is she here? Steph? Ah, there you are. I didn't see you sneak in. Come on up. Administrative Assistant Steph Seredich. Steph began her career with the city in 1975. She became part of the fire department in 1980 and worked in the fire prevention office. Steph was the backbone of the department's tenant-occupied license and inspection program. Steph handled all of the scheduling, mailing of applications, updating of information, and coordination of inspections. Steph was the person landlords would call when they needed assistance on an issue. Steph was the one tenants would contact when they had a complaint. Steph's dedication to her job made the city a safer place. Steph retired on September 3rd, 2014, after close to 40 years of employment with the city of York. Congratulations, Steph. And then presenting Steph today with a plaque for her dedication.
Congratulations, and thank you for the
very
years
much.
of service to the
Thank you.
city of York.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, next we'll recognize firefighter Scott Ott. Okay. Firefighter Ott actually started his service with the department as a volunteer firefighter with the Rex Hook and Ladder Company No. 1 in 1969. He joined the department as a career firefighter on February 21st, 1994. He graduated from the Hack Fire Academy, where he received the Outstanding Academic Award. Scott retired on January 3rd of this year from the department's D Platoon, retiring from Station 2. Firefighter Ott received several awards during his career, including a letter of commendation in 1996 for saving a life using CPR while off duty. Firefighter Ott is the son of the late Buford Bud Ott, a longtime volunteer firefighter and officer of the Rex Hook and Ladder Company. His son Mark followed in his footsteps and is currently a career member of the department. Firefighter Ott is one of the original members of the York County Hazardous Materials Response Team, where he still continues to volunteer and presently serves as a captain and a hazmat technician. Firefighter Ott remains active in the Foremen's, Presidents, and Fire Chiefs Association of the York City Fire Department, where he serves as secretary. Congratulations, Firefighter Ott. And he will be presented with his retirement badge today.
It's okay, that's all up in there and stuff, too, and you're looking all retired.
Thank you very much. I feel good, good time.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, our next retiree is not here today, Captain Robert Baylor, but I'll read over some information on him. Captain Robert Baylor started his career with the department on March 6, 1995. Before joining the department, Captain Baylor served our country as a member of the United States Army. Captain Baylor worked on B Platoon as a firefighter. Once promoted, he spent time working in fire prevention and retired as the captain on D Platoon. Captain Baylor retired from the department on May 6, 2015. During his career, Captain Baylor obtained numerous certifications, including building code official, EMT, and fire investigator. And Captain Baylor was unable to join us today. And finally, for today, on the retirees will be Deputy Chief Greg Halpin. Deputy Chief Greg Halpin started with the department as a member of the Explorer Post number 610. He joined the department as a volunteer in 1977. On August 18, 1981, he was appointed to the York City Fire Department as a career member. He was promoted to lieutenant on May 6, 1995, where he served in fire prevention and A Platoon. He was promoted to assistant chief on January 7, 2000, and spent the majority of his time as the assistant chief on C Platoon. He was promoted to deputy chief on June 25, 2012. Deputy Chief Halpin received several awards during his career, including a commendation for his part in detaining 2 suspects who attempted to break into a city business near Station 1. Deputy Chief Halpin is a lifelong resident of the city of York. He attended York City schools and graduated from York County Area Vocational Technical School. He serves the community outside of work including serving on the board of directors for the Police Heritage Museum and the Maryland and Pennsylvania Railroad Historical Society. The Halpin family has a long history in the New York City Fire Department. His father, William, served the department for 36 years, retiring as an assistant chief in 1991. His brother, Richard, served 34 years and retired as deputy chief. His brother, Barry, retired with 30 years service, and his brother, Jim, retired with 20 years service, both retiring as firefighters. With his retirement, this is the first time since 1955, 60 years, that we have not had a Halpin on the job. Deputy Chief Halpin retired June 1st, 2015. Congratulations.
It was my honor to promote you to Deputy Chief, and it's my honor to present this to you as part of your retirement. I'd like to thank you for everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Chief.
Okay, now before you sit down, Chief, one more thing. Most of you are probably aware, Chief Halpin is very into the history of not only our department, but of York in general. He's just a walking encyclopedia of information. If you need to know where somebody worked, what year a fire truck was, what company was where, he has that information. He knows about past calls, about, you name it, he's the go-to guy. One thing our department has never had was a historian. So today, Chief Halpin is being named the department's chief historian. And with that title, we can still call on him for anything we need.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
I will at least acknowledge the guys that I've worked with through the years. There's a lot of guys in this room that are not in this room that made me look really good the last few years, so I appreciate everything they've done. You measure the department truly by the guys that work for it. And looking around this room, I'm really proud of the guys that I've worked with for 34 years. My family, my wife who is with our new grandson in Nashville, Tennessee, hopefully is watching on White Rose Community Television right now over the internet. So I just want to say hi to them, and Levi, I'm coming to meet you.
Thanks, Chief. Next, we have our first letter of commendation, and that will be to Captain David Bowman. Captain Bowman, could you come up, please? Captain Bowman's commendation will read as follows. On February 22nd, 2015, you were off duty and traveling through Oxford, Pennsylvania. You witnessed a motor vehicle accident involving a motorcycle. The motorcyclist was thrown approximately 50 feet from the motorcycle. You immediately stopped and had your passenger call 911 while you approached the victim. You performed a primary assessment and found serious injuries, including a broken leg, a broken wrist, and severe bleeding. While performing patient care, you noticed a handgun lying on the roadway. You were able to determine the handgun belonged to the patient who had been carrying the weapon legally. You secured the weapon and gave it to police once they arrived. You remained with the patient and continued care until the arrival of fire and EMS units. At that time, the patient was transported to a local hospital. Your actions are in the highest tradition of the department, and I am pleased to award you this Chief's Letter of Commendation. And could I have come up front Deputy Chief Deodorff? He's already up here. Firefighter Tim Golden, if you could join us, please. And Firefighter Todd Stow. I think I saw, okay. And their commendation will read as follows. On September 12, 2014, at 0038 hours, you were dispatched to a reported structure fire with entrapment at 134 North Albemarle Street, incident number 14-1947. You arrived on the scene to find a working fire and 3 civilians, one of which was pregnant, trapped on the roof. You reacted immediately and deployed an extension ladder from engine 99-3 to reach the victims. The victims were removed from the roof. All were treated for smoke inhalation and transported to York Hospital. In addition, you were also able to quickly deploy a hand line and contain the fire and minimize damage. Your actions are in the highest tradition of the department, and I am pleased to award you this Chief's Letter of Commendation.
Thank you, Chief.
And for our final letters today, could I please have Captain Dave Bowman come up? Captain Bill Sleeger? Firefighter Ken Swartz? No, he's here. Firefighter Joe Portner, I didn't see Joe here today. Okay. Firefighter Sean Firestone? Firefighter Donald Newcomer? I don't think Don, he's not here. And Firefighter Kevin Westover? Don't have them. And their letters will read as follows. On May 2nd, 2015, while working at Station 2, you heard a loud commotion in front of the firehouse. There was a large group of people involved in a fight, which quickly escalated to gunshots being fired. You made sure York County 911 was notified and police were requested. You noted 2 individuals on the ground who had been struck by the gunfire. Despite police not being on scene and a large crowd still present, you did not hesitate to gather EMS equipment and treat the patients. You treated 1 victim with a gunshot wound to the face and 1 with a gunshot wound to the leg, which caused profuse bleeding. While working under these chaotic and dangerous conditions, you were able to take the necessary action to save the lives of the 2 victims suffering gunshot wounds. Your actions are in the highest tradition of the department, and I am pleased to award you this Chief's Letter of Commendation. I don't have these in order.
Thanks, Chief.
Congrats, Cap. We're very excited today. This year, we have a pretty historical event for the department. We are honoring the 225th anniversary of the Laurel Fire Company. And I should say of the chartering of the Laurel Fire Company. To recognize that today, we have some people here to recognize the Laurel Fire Company. And first of all, let me just mention, we do have members of the Laurel Fire Company here, and we'll bring them up at this time. So the President, Bob Bowman, is here. Never fails. Yeah. Okay.
He's going. David Moore.
You guys want to? So we're getting current and active members of the fire company. Okay. Also, we have with us today, we're very fortunate, obviously we have Mayor Bracy here, County Commissioners Riley and Hoker here today. Also, we're very fortunate, Joan Mummert came out today. She's the head of the York County Historical Society. Again, recognizing the historical nature of today. I'm very glad that you came out. Thank you. And Councilman Henry Nixon will be here as well to represent our council. And I'll have you come up. We do have a proclamation to read for this event. So I guess I'll have everyone come up and.
We are honored to be able to recognize the 225th anniversary of the Laurel Fire Company #1. And as Chief Michaels indicated, we have a proclamation for that effort. But I want to also say that Chief Halpin and I, retired Chief Halpin and I, had talked about even trying to figure out ways to raise money to restore and keep this building at its in good condition at least, but even bring it back to its grandeur of the older days. So hopefully we'll get a chance to work with all of you in that effort, particularly since you're now named our chief historian. So, so the proclamation reads, Laurel Fire Company #1, 225th anniversary, June 5th, 2015. Whereas this year marks the 225th anniversary of the incorporation of the Laurel Fire Company #1. And whereas the Laurel Fire Company is the oldest fire company in York County, the organization tracing its roots back to 1770 when a number of villagers in Yorktown became aware of the necessity of making some provisions to protect their property from the ravages of fire. And whereas said villagers formed the Sun Fire Brigade of Yorktown in January of 1771, purchasing a fire engine from the Sun Fire Company of Philadelphia and erecting an engine house on North George Street in 1773. And whereas the members of the Sun Fire Brigade reorganized as the Laurel Fire Company #1, the company being officially chartered as a fire company and articles for the government of this company adopted in 1790. And whereas the Laurel Fire Company #1 has provided continuous service to the citizens of the village of Yorktown, the borough of York, and the city of York from the era of hand-drawn, human-operated pumping engines to horse-drawn steam power pumpers to modern-day motorized firefighting apparatus. And whereas today the company, which is housed in a building dedicated in 1878, continues to provide exemplary service to the citizens of York. Now therefore we, the York City Mayor, York County Commissioners, and the Pennsylvania House of Representatives do hereby recognize and celebrate the history of Laurel Company #1 of York City on their 225th anniversary and urge all York County citizens to be ever thankful and mindful of the volunteers who put their own lives at risk to protect and serve them with courage and bravery. Given this day in York and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania on the 5th day of June in the year of our Lord 2015, it is signed again by myself, the county commissioners, and Representative Schreiber, who didn't get down here yet. Congratulations all, and thank you very much for your service and your history.
Congratulations, you guys.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'd like to turn the tables on the mayor. The Laurel Fire Company would like to present her with a limited edition plaque we had made up for the 225th anniversary. This is one of 25.
Representative Schreiber's here to... Good morning. Good morning. Good. Did you want to say a few words? Give a few...
I have some as
Okay.
well. So I think we may end up doing it again. My apologies. I did let Chief know I was running late, unfortunately. But if you guys want to do this again, no time like the present to recognize you twice over. So obviously, it goes without saying, I appreciate every one of you being here, and I appreciate all of the family members. I think often you guys aren't thanked enough in the sacrifices that you make. Many evenings, your loved ones are going out into the community, and you just always have that fear. Thankfully, we don't often have to realize it, but we always have that fear that they may not come home or they may get injured in the job. And obviously, you guys wear that on your sleeve and have to deal with that daily. So I want to thank, obviously, all of our emergency personnel, but most importantly, I want to thank their families, too. So if we didn't give them a round of applause, which I'm sure we probably did, let's give them a round of applause anyway. So I have certificates from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the House of Representatives, as I said, probably recognizing many of the same individuals we just did, but if you don't mind, let's pat you on the back once more. So in recognition of retirement, Captain Robert Baylor, Captain Bob Baylor, where are you? Not here? Okay, throw that one away. Recognition of retirement, Firefighter Scott Ott.
He's here.
He's here. All right, there you go. Okay, gotcha. In recognition of a promotion, and which still shocks, I think, all of us, to Deputy Chief Chad Deerdorf. Not sure how that one happened. In recognition of promotion to Assistant Chief Dave Ferguson. Recognition of promotion to Captain Bill Sleeger. I think what is kind of cool, and just sort of realizing this as I'm reading off these names, I got to work with all of you guys too for several years, so it's kind of neat to be able to have this role to also pat you on the back as well. So thank you guys for the opportunity to do this. Certificate of recognition of retirement. Oh, Steph, where's Steph? Steph, hey. That's also a certificate to apologize for all the times I had to call Steph back in the day, so. In recognition of receiving the Chief's letter of commendation for off-duty actions at an accident scene, Captain Dave Bowman. Dave, there you go. Recognition for receiving the Chief's letter of commendation for rescue from a fire, firefighter Timothy Golden. There you go. Recognition of receiving Chief's letter of commendation for rescue from a fire, Deputy Chief, no, Chad, come on, really? Man, just, ego's just getting bigger there, isn't it? In recognition of receiving the Chief's letter of commendation for a rescue from a fire, firefighter Todd Stow. Chief's letter of commendation for actions at the scene of a shooting, Dave Bowman. Recognition of receiving the Chief's letter of commendation for actions at the scene of a shooting, also Captain Bill Sleeger. In recognition of receiving the Chief's letter of commendation for actions at the scene of a shooting, firefighter Kenneth Swartz. In recognition of receiving the Chief's letter of commendation for actions at the scene of a shooting, firefighter Joseph Portner. Joe here? Not here. Okay. Recognition of receiving the Chief's letter of commendation for actions at the scene of a shooting, firefighter Sean Firestone. In recognition of receiving the chief's letter of commendation for actions at the scene of a shooting, firefighter Donald Newcomer. Not here? Okay. In recognition of receiving the chief's letter of commendation for actions at the scene of a shooting, firefighter Kevin Westover. Is Kevin here? Not here. Okay. Good to see him. This one? Okay. Ah. Looking right at you, Chief. I can't believe you're leaving us. But in addition to, I'm sure we recognized Chief Halpin a lot, but what we did on behalf of your retirement and your service, your many years of service, we did get you the full citation from the House of Representatives to thank you for your many, many years of service. Wish you the very best, and we know you're not going too far, and we know you'll always continue to be a firefighter regardless of if you're active or retired. So thank you very much. Thank you.
The mayor's looking for some money for the Rex and Laurel to fix it
Oh,
up.
come on, man. Didn't take him long to hit it up already. And I think that, and also,
Yeah, that's hard to learn. Or, no, go.
okay. And I know this looks like this was done too, but on behalf of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the House of Representatives, I would also like to recognize the Laurel Fire Company for its 225th anniversary. So thank you very much. There we go. And again, my apologies for my tardiness, but I want to thank everyone for coming out as well, and obviously thank you all for everything that you do on a daily basis to keep all of us safe. And I think it goes without saying that many of you are probably multi-generation firefighters. We recognized Chief up at the House not too long ago for his 25 years in, and so I'm looking out at all the faces of younger daughters and a couple sons, so I'm assuming it's up to you guys too to be taking it on as it's a profession that clearly stays in your DNA and in your bloodline. So thank you all very much.
And then we'll conclude today with the naming of our Volunteer Firefighter of the Year, and I'll read this as follows. Since your appointment as a volunteer firefighter with the Eagle Fire Company in 1990, you have demonstrated a sincere desire to serve your community. You are active in the Foremen's, Presidents, and Fire Chiefs Association and the York City Volunteer Relief Association. You regularly attend meetings and serve on committees. You attend trainings and maintain your active firefighter status. You are willing to respond to emergency calls at any time help is needed. Your actions are exemplary and are in the highest tradition of the department. I am pleased to recognize you as the 2014 Firefighter of the Year, and that'll be Lisa Weldy. And also, Lisa will be receiving today an award pin with 2014, which is the year she's a Firefighter of the Year, and that will be part of her uniform. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I think, don't go too far.
We don't have many women.
Okay. This concludes today's ceremony. Congratulations to Deputy Chief Chad Deerdorf, Assistant Chief David Ferguson, and Captain Bill Sleeger on your promotions. Congratulations to the retirees, and thank for your years of service. Congratulations and job well done to those who received awards, and thank you to all firefighters for all you do every day. Thank you to everyone that joined us today. Your support is appreciated. The award recipients will be available for photos and interviews. Thank you and stay safe.